All right, all right. We are live. This is your boy, the Unpopular Black Gamer. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are listening to us. Please, we got a good one for you because this is a crazy one. This is the only way that I can actually explain this. But, as I stated, this is your boy, Unpopular Black Gamer, aka your boy Dante. I am here always with my boy Patrick. Patrick, say hello, sir.
Hello. If you are not in therapy, you will be by the end of this.
You definitely will. And it is the Thanksgiving holiday. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And with that, you all know that when it's the holidays, Patrick comes into town and we are doing this live from my home. So we are
Absolutely.
we are actually here in person,
Yep.
looking at each other side by side,
That's why
talking about
you
this.
that's why you might have heard my cell phone joining the stream in the background of the intro.
He's the one to make sure the stream is actually live because YouTube got this like crazy thing. It's crazy. Sometimes our lives don't actually post for some crazy reason, so
We
he
have a
makes
lost
sure.
episode.
Yeah, we have actually two. I think we have two lost
We have a
episodes.
lost B-roll one that
Yeah,
hadn't
yeah,
made it, but
yeah,
we have an actual lost episode.
exactly.
Is Starfleet a military core episode that was awesome.
So after that, we decided well, Patrick made sure he's gonna make sure while I'm doing the intro that the actual YouTube live is posted on my channel. So I appreciate him for that. But we are moving right along with the original series episodes, and we are into episode 3, titled Charlie X. And this one's a doozy.
Let me tell you, Unpopular Explorers, I am genuinely excited to talk about this episode. Like, what why wouldn't I be? What a wonderful episode of Star Trek to talk about. Just
for real, Patrick, you're gonna say that? You're really gonna say that at this point?
It's a fake. This is real.
yeah.
Patrick is being very fake right now. He's not exactly telling the truth.
So anyone who listens to this, that's honestly, I was gonna say an adult, but I think this happens to people of all ages, where you're trying to understand that you're having a good time because you're hanging out with your bro, talking some Star Trek, but also like it is extremely uncomfortable to talk about this episode, so you're trying to muster up
Extremely uncomfortable.
the enthusiasm and energy you need to do this.
And keep in mind, people, that we watched this episode together. Like, we just watched this episode. We try to make this as fresh as possible so we could talk about it more in a certain light than what, normal YouTubers practically would. But,
Yeah.
so we literally just got through from watching this episode, and
No time to process.
I don't remember this episode as a kid.
I've always remembered not liking this episode, and every time I watch it I'm uncomfortable, and it watching it rewatch I was kind of hoping, I will be honest with you, I was kind of hoping that watching it with you maybe like something different would happen, like we'd see something different or something. And it just like the episode ends and like everybody's just uncomfortable. It's just like whew.
And I want everybody to keep in mind that when me and Patrick get together, it is not like a like sober how you do, like, yeah, no, there's drinking involved. I mean, if you haven't noticed from like our previous reviews where we normally have a drink handy when we're talking, when we're together, no, there is like some, hey, Patrick, I came across a new bourbon or whiskey that I want you to try. And he tries
Yeah.
it, and he's like, "Hey, I brought some whiskey
Yeah,
or bourbon
exactly.
that I want you to try too." And we try that, and then my wife gets into her mixology type past, and gives us a nice drink to sit down while we're watching the episode. So we
And
were,
this episode knifed through all of that
yeah,
and still made us uncomfortable.
yeah, yeah. We were kind of we weren't lit, as the young people would say.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
never like over the edge, but
but we were drinking during this episode, and we were still uncomfortable.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I think we should get into it. I think we should get into it. I know this is probably we are normally pretty long winded. Normally like to get into a good amount of things before the end of the episode. And
And
Patrick believes that we're probably going to breeze through this one, but I don't believe so.
well, I think we got places to stop, but it's an uncomfortable episode. We also want to watch some Sunday Night Football before it goes off.
We do.
Uh,
We do.
so we're gonna do our best here. Um, I don't know if this is true or not, but I did notice because I happened to pull up the Wikipedia to look up something else. But this was written by DC Fontana.
Oh wow, she. You know, that's not she. Excuse me. He is like one of
No,
the.
she.
That's a she, right? Yeah.
Yeah, DC Fontana is definitely that's
Yeah. She's one of the.
and something that will come up later is definitely a woman.
Yeah, she's one of the best Star Trek writers.
Yep.
In like practically in all of Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
Like she's written a great number of episodes, even going into TNG
Mm-hmm.
as well. She had a hand in a lot of those episodes and stuff that happened there. So this is actually crazy. I mean,
It's probably why the episode is still entertaining despite
and that's what I was
it's
going to say.
yeah.
It is entertaining, but we are still dealing with the '60s, and we said this in the past episodes. Like we're dealing with the '60s here,
Yeah.
so it was a different time. It was things that occur that now we look at it's like what the hell, but back then it was normal. So it's kind of difficult for us to uh, to really not knock it
Yeah.
for those things that happened during that time because there are some things that are said and done and it's just like wow,
Like it's
very
bold.
uncomfortable.
It's bold for them to take on this topic
Mm-hmm.
back when they did, but also like from at least a modern eyes perspective, like they don't get all the way there, and then you're wondering like, do they not get all the way there because of the times, or so yeah, makes it tough. Also, the first note that I have here is I think we mentioned that all these episodes run like over 40 minutes, almost 50 minutes.
Yeah, I did
So
put that
it's
in my
like-
notes too. It's what this was like a what 50-minute episode.
I think it was about 50 minutes.
It's dealing with old school television editing. There will be certain scenes that we'll probably talk about that was just like, why was that there?
Yeah, we
Well,
got trim that one.
Like in normal days now, that would have been something that was trimmed. That would have been like, yeah, that's not gonna change your mind about anything. That's not gonna move the plot along in any way, any of that.
Yeah.
So they'll just cut that. But in '60s, nope, they have it in there. They have it in there.
Yep, and we gotta watch the whole thing. Okay, so they're rendezvousing with the cargo vessel Antares. Kirk is in a green shirt already.
I want to talk about this damn shirt. All right, this shirt right here.
Green shirt Kirk. He's not in the green shirt the whole episode.
He's not. It's just within the beginning part, and I'm looking at this shirt like, what is it? Is this even standard uniform code here, or is he just wearing this just cause he's captain and no one can tell him anything?
Well, the captains can wear different stuff because we see Picard wearing like that kind of
Yeah.
velvety.
Yeah, but that's
thing.
by like season 5, 6.
Oh, you're upset that Kirk is like right off the bat. just
Oh,
being
right
like-
off the bat, like in the beginning.
Well, he's
Like,
only in it for like, I don't know, the first like 10 or 15 minutes of the episode.
in the pantheon of things. This is like episode 2 with her.
Yes, this is the second episode that airs, I think.
So at this point, it's just like,
60s people in the 60s are like, I guess he's just wearing a different shirt this episode for a little bit. Another note that I have here is that they're gonna beam in the captain of the Antilles, who is Captain Ramart, and his first officer Nellis. Um, so they're going to beam him in, and they're bringing over a kid named Charlie Evans. Thank you, Wikipedia. And I'm reading this off my cell phone, so I switch back and forth. That's why I'm dragging it out.
And
So
apparently the Arteries had like what 20,
had 20 men on it.
20 men on board. It's
Yeah.
all men. It was only 20
Yeah.
on board, and so Charlie came from a situation where it sounds like everybody had passed away, and
Yeah, they
it was just him.
hang on to that because they get to talking his backstory after the cold open.
Okay.
Because the cold open happens. First off, he says begin materialization, which they hadn't worked out the
Yeah,
transporter.
as far as the transporter logic,
language
there,
yet.
yeah.
There's no. Well, he never says "beam me up, Scotty" in the show, but
Yeah,
there's
we're still in that beginning stages before like a lot of the terminology that's normally used
Yeah.
for beam me up. Same thing.
Yep. Charlie asks how many people that are human like him that are on the ship, and Ramert says it's like a small city. There's 428 people on, which I don't think that's a small city.
Well,
but-
no, he says it's like 400, 400.
and then
and
Kirk.
then Kirk interjects is like 428 to be exact.
Yeah. And Kirk offers to let them stay for some entertainment tapes.
Okay, I truly do have to point out the fact that Kirk was trying to get the Arteries
And Terrace.
Terrace
Yeah.
crew members to stay aboard and like show them around.
Chill out. Yeah.
And he was just like, I got some entertainment. We got some entertainment tapes for you, and that was the first thing that like cued me, and I specifically put that in my notes. Entertainment tapes! Exclamation points! Like, what are these entertainment tapes? Okay.
Well, as I speculated when we were watching, the entertainment tapes may have entertainment of. Let's see, how many minutes are we in? Okay.
Yeah.
Not enough.
We're not enough. Yeah.
Entertainment of a nature that. If you're 20 men on a ship, you're one of 19 men, and it sounds like the ship is smaller, not as good, not as like vast and as accommodating as the Enterprise.
And I would imagine not everybody on board is into the same sex.
Yeah, exactly. It's the 60s, and so maybe these entertainment tapes fill a specific need that maybe some corners of the internet fill nowadays that you can't see on YouTube. So I'll just beat around.
They're
the
P-Ron
bush.
tapes. P-Ron tapes is the best way that I can actually like put this to.
I've seen some other YouTubers call it corn.
corn tapes, most definitely. I'm imagining. Keep in mind, people, like I'm imagining Kirk going into his quarters and like pressing a button, and then a whole like shelf of P-Ron corn tapes are just like in order. Like,
Gone Wild on Wrigley's Pleasure Planet.
and Wrigley's Pleasure Planet is its own row for him, and these are personalized tastes, by the way. Like this is exactly how I'm thinking of this, as we know how Kirk is when it comes to the opposite sex. I can just imagine that he has a nice selection of P-Ron corn tapes.
Entertainment tapes.
Yes, entertainment tapes. As
I mean, I
Star
guess,
Trek would
I
put
guess
it.
the entertainment tapes could be other things. Your Disney movies, your Marvel movies at that point. You know.
Yeah.
What else would be on entertainment?
Oh yeah,
tape?
Disney's still a thing in the future where
Old
there's
football games?
where there's no such thing as capitalism. Yeah. Disney's still a thing. Yeah.
Well, the movies could make it, just not the capitalism.
okay. The old school movies.
Yeah,
I see what
the
you're
art
saying.
could make it. You can still watch Iron Man and Ventura and Star Trek time.
I don't think so, but like, I'll let you have that one. I'll let you.
If you want to. It might not make much sense since he's like a billionaire businessman. They're like, well, what is that? Okay, Charlie sees Yeoman Ran and gawks at her and asks, quote, if that's a girl.
Is that a girl? Quote unquote. Is that a girl? Not a woman, not a lady. Is that a girl? And he is so stricken with her. Like he cannot keep his eyes off her. Like granted, like yeah, she's a very beautiful woman. Not even gonna lie. She's a very beautiful woman. I can understand that. But like he is just like straight smitten with her.
Well, and this is the second episode in a row that she is the direct focus of sexual harassment on the
That is
ship.
very true.
So, like like it's hard for us to comment because unpopular explorers know we comment on everybody's looks. Like everybody looks
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
especially on Strange New Worlds. But it's hard to be like, oh yeah, Yeoman Ro looks good when Yeoman Rand looks good when in the episode someone's like, I'm not going to respect her because it's like, oh, I don't want to be on this guy's side.
It is very he gawks at her way too hard. And granted, like they did state that he is a 17-year-old.
Yeah, I'm going to
Right.
get to his backstory here in a second.
Uh,
But don't worry, audience. It gets worse from here.
oh, most definitely.
So Charlie has, according to the story, has survived on his own from the age of 3 to become, quote, a healthy adolescence, which at some point they say he's 17. And he learned English through like tapes, I think, that were on the ship that crashed.
I
that
think
he
it was
on.
like it was pretty much the computer equivalent,
Yeah.
and like they had like history and all that stuff that
Yeah.
he learned, and that's how he learned how to speak and understand what like humans are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he basically has been on his own, doesn't have social skills, but knows he's human, and all those things. The most important thing to note is that he's been on the planet Thasus, which is home to the Thasians, which, to just take the drama out of it, have powers where they can make things disappear and maybe like some low key telepathy or things like that. But at this point in the story, we are told that he's been on his own. He didn't have any interactions with them because they haven't been around for a long time.
I do want to point out one thing that I do have in my notes,
Okay.
that during the transporter scene,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell throughout that whole scene that the Antares crew, the captain and the first officer, want to get the fuck out of there.
They are trying to get away pretty quickly. They're like, "Oh yeah, Charlie's good kid. All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna be."
This is your problem now.
That was the whole thing with the entertainment tapes. Kirk's like, "Hey, why don't you hang out on the Enterprise? Watch some of these entertainment tapes in your own private quarters." I
They
guess.
say no.
I'm like, nah, we gotta go do cargo vessel stuff. So.
You sure I got some good stuff from
No,
Wrigley's
no,
Brother
no.
Pratt over
Well,
here.
Well, send me a copy. But I gotta go. So yeah, that's a good point. It's clear that they know that there's something off, and they are trying to get out of there. And then so that happens before he ends up in sick bay. And sick bay is where we get the exposition that we're supposed to know.
Yeah.
About him.
The crazy thing about the sick bay scene is that he's on this like exercise medical contraption.
It's like
that's
some yeah,
like almost like a leg lift type machine in a
it's like a leg
gym?
press, but like it's like a stair stepper, but he's like on his back.
Yeah.
Like
I didn't get that in my notes. I have, what the hell kind of medical device is this? Like that's the first thing that I put down. Like seeing that,
yeah,
and then I learned that it was like kind of like a therapy machine to like show how strong he was, or like how strong his lung capacity, all that good stuff was. I don't know how you can get all that just from this one machine, but okay. I mean,
whatever.
futuristic technology. Okay.
According to my notes, I wrote he talks about his backstory while doing some random leg shit in sick bay. So that was my interpretation of what he was doing. He then asks Bones if he likes him, and Bones is kind of like, sure, whatever. And then Charlie gets real weird about it.
Of course.
Uh, just gonna read this straightforward. Charlie, because Charlie walks up on a dude guiding a pole into the
Oh,
floor,
Jesus
and
Christ.
then kneels on all fours and looks at it.
This scene
Is
was
something that happened.
the weirdest scene. Like, literally, during the scene, me and Patrick just looked at each other, like, really quick. Like, what the is going on in the scene? And it really looks like a type of scene that probably maybe would have been recorded, but on the editing floor, they would look at this and be like, this is not gonna help the plot in any way.
Yeah, I think they might be trying to show like how amazed he
Inquisitive?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the world around him, but it's literally a dude guiding a pole into a grate, and it's like, huh?
But
What?
you can get that from the previous scene with the transporter room.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
him
No,
saying like,
it doesn't
"Oh, is
change.
this a girl?" and like asking all these questions. Like, he was also interrupting when the captain was talking
Yeah.
to the other captain too. So this is a scene that really didn't matter.
No, no, and
In the grand scheme
even
of things.
I'm sure the unpopular explorers are like, he doesn't know how to use English, but if you watch what I was trying to describe, you would still be like, that was the best description of
Please, in the comments, tell us the best way that you would have described
it.
this scene, particularly. In the comments, please get in the comments. Tell us exactly how you would describe the scene.
Yep. It only gets worse from here.
Oh, 100%.
Charlie, they cut to Charlie climbing down an engineering tube, and then two other crewmen climb out of the tube. And one of the other crewmen slaps one of the other crewmen on their butt.
And
And then they seem confused as to why Charlie is there, despite the fact they were all in the same tube at the same time.
they crawl out the tube together. And the last dude that comes out is like literally looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, I have no other way of explaining this but that way.
They were like within like 2 feet of each other. The two dudes that know each other have like a quick conversation, and then one slaps the other one's ass. And then that dude who stays looks at Charlie like, "Oh, who are you?
Who the hell are you?"
And I'm like, "What happened? What is going on?"
He's just standing off to the side like, And then when he says that, he was just like, okay, I'll go out this door.
Yeah,
and
he just leaves.
That was it. Like,
Confused.
Granted, I feel like, once again, 60s television.
Yeah, I mean, in the last episode, the like part of like the middle third was just the salt monster wandering around the ship aimlessly. So I'm like, I guess we get some just wandering around the ship aimlessly scenes every episode, and this was just.
But at least with the salt monster, it was like, how did the salt monster like interact with the rest of the crew?
Yeah,
on it.
is the salt monster gonna unalive another?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And like here, I guess this was the build up of like how inquisitive he was and how he was trying to learn about his people before he went to the point of being crazy, which is the only way I could actually explain it.
because spoiler alert, the butt slap comes up a lot more often than you would expect.
Oh my god.
It ends up being important. Well, in fact, here we go. Yeoman Rand runs into Charlie, and he approaches her with perfume that he says is her favorite, and it is her favorite, and they don't have any on board, which I guess making things appear is part of his power set.
Yeah. It sounds like he can actually like transmute things into what he wants.
Okay, they do say that.
Because there's no, in this time there was not like no true replicator. There is ish as far as like the food synthesizer.
Well,
and
later
all
on we
that.
learn there's an oven on the ship. So yes, there's no replicator yet, but there is
I
an
feel
oven.
like I'm gonna have a lot of critiques when it comes to the nature of technology, which makes me happy at the fact that we came in during the next
Yeah.
generation
So they had ironed a bunch of
phase.
this stuff out. Absolutely. So she's kind of actually impressed by the fact that it's her favorite perfume, and they make a little bit of a date for
She's
when
a little
she.
bit smitten.
Yeah,
She is a little bit smitten.
she's
Like
kind of
like
like, okay, you
she's
gave me my
like
favorite perfume. I'll give you a little bit of run. Like,
it's one of those
it's
like yeah, okay, you are probably too young for me, but I mean you came with your best foot forward here.
yeah. So we'll talk after work.
Yeah,
After I'm done with
yeah.
work. And then Charlie slaps her on the butt.
I'm glad I didn't take a drink before you said. This is gonna come up again later in the episode because she was I mean upset that he
She
slapped
corrects
her
him.
in the butt like I mean as a woman would normally. But granted, like you also have to realize he was 3 when all the adults on his ship were or his planet.
I think it was a ship crash on Thasus.
Also a planet
Yeah,
that like so 3 when they passed away. So and now he's 17. So he didn't have a full basic understanding of what consent really was.
yeah,
And so he is being very adolescent in this situation.
yeah. It gets kind of conflated in that he also doesn't know like what basic social interactions are like, and so
Hmm.
if you don't get that, you also kind of don't get consent.
Hmm.
It's not so much his ignorance of stuff; it's how they try to teach him this stuff that becomes
That's the part that like probably gets to us the most.
yeah,
It's like okay, it's one thing that he's ignorant to this, but then the actual adults in the room that can actually tell him, no, this is how you are supposed to
yeah,
treat a woman, not a girl, a woman,
yeah,
a young lady in these type of situations, and they fall flat
yeah.
hard.
It gets it gets pretty difficult. It gets pretty bad. Let's see, where did my notes leave off? Okay, so he slaps Rand on the butt. Rand corrects him and suggests he talks to Kirk about it. On the bridge, Kirk is trying to get a curriculum started for him so he
Yeah,
can
he's
get.
trying to create some type of learning program for
Yeah,
Charlie.
Spock speculates for the first time that the Thasians were the ones that kept Charlie alive. He's like,
Hmm.
this doesn't make any sense unless there's that race is still real and alive somewhere.
And the doctor tries to like butter up Kirk in a way to be like, hey, he
Yeah,
responds well to you. Like he looks at you more as a father figure. Wouldn't you be the best person to like handle this situation more so than like me or Spock? And Kirk was just like, Doctor Flattery gets you nowhere. So
yeah. Kirk is like, hard pass. Not me. Which, at this point, because of Strange New Worlds, we do know of the whole Carol Marcus situation. So
yes,
Kirk probably doesn't even think of himself as a father. I don't know if they've thought that through at this point in
not at
his
this point.
backstory,
I
but
don't think so at this point. But it's still the
it
fact that
fits.
it still fits and it keeps true to his character is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Cut to Spock is playing music in the recreation room, I
Oh,
believe.
I do want to point out from something from that scene where Spock was talking to McCoy,
Oh, okay.
and he was like, "Are you speaking scientifically, or are you speaking emotionally?" I would be remiss to not point this out because our biggest thing right now is that like how much does this track with how Strange New Worlds is depicting Spock
Right.
to how the original series depicted Spock?
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I think it's I've said this offline to Patrick. I think it's good that we've actually like watch Strange New Worlds going into this, because then we could get to like pick up like properly nuances or things that the writers probably saw with these old school episodes that would make sense as to Spock's maturation going into the Kirk era from the Pike era.
Yeah, we're kind of landing on Spock isn't any more or less emotional than what we're seeing in Strange New Worlds. He's just becoming more mature
Mature, yeah.
as time
Mm-hmm.
goes on. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just manifesting itself differently. But it's the same Spock. There's no like
Mm-hmm.
grand incident where he goes from a Spock of Strange New Worlds that shows some emotion and things like that to a different Spock that doesn't. It's just he's just growing up, getting
Yeah.
older, getting more responsibility. So it's just manifesting itself
Learning
differently.
himself more.
Yeah,
Like learning himself more and how he should carry himself. Because I mean, you and I can both agree as someone who was in like their 20s
yeah,
now going into midlife, I should say.
yeah.
Not gonna say the actual age that we are, but like
I
midlife.
feel like we've already said it several
I feel
times.
like we probably have, but like I still don't want to say it right now because
Mainly for yourself.
exactly I feel like being this age is kind of you get to this point and you're just like, oh my god, like where did the time go?
Oh, interesting.
Um, but I'm looking at this like in a way that yeah, as a 20 something year old, I thought a different way.
Yeah,
Now in my midlife, I'm just like I'm more mature, more respectful in some ways, more understanding in a lot of ways. And so I understand how a lot of how people think, how the world is currently right now, how the world was
yeah,
when we were growing up, and even before when we were growing up. So I'm mature in how I handle certain situations or how I respond to certain situations. And that's the way that I look at Spock. Like right now, he's still in the, I guess we could kind of say more of the adolescent stage or
right.
like getting out of that adolescent stage more so and going into the mature area. And by the movies, he's in the mature era.
Yeah, and when we see him in TNG and stuff, yeah,
100% mature.
like it's just very different. Yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, much more mature. So,
Yes.
which I like. I like that trajectory versus I think at least my initial understanding of like, oh, at some point he's gonna start purging emotion, and it's like, oh no, 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 he's the same emotional. It's just he handles it
And
differently.
that's the thing. Like, it's not that he's purging emotion. He understands that this is a part of him, but he knows how to control them a whole lot better than what he used to in his
Yeah,
adolescence.
which actually, now that we think about it, was a very key part of the Kelvin timeline first movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
And then also with our thing when it came to Strange New Worlds, talking about that, like we feel like he's just like running through the whole Enterprise crew.
oh, he's
Like,
gonna get with everybody.
oh, he's gonna get with everybody. Like
I,
he's like by the end of the 5 year
we got two
season.
seasons left. He's gonna have to pick up the pace a bit, but we'll get there. Um, Spock is playing music in the recreation room, and O'Hara starts singing.
You know what? I was supposed to look up if this was like a Vulcan type instrument that he
Ooh.
was playing. I forgot to look that up. It was kind of like a harpish,
Yeah, it's like a lute,
yeah,
kind
lute,
of guitar
harp
kind of
kind
thing.
of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of Vulcan stringed instrument. I think it does have a name, but I'm not sure what it was. Uhura starts singing to it, um, and which kind of annoys Spock at first, but then he smiles, going back to our
Hmm.
emotions thing, and decides to keep playing. In which I wrote, "Do they think Uhura Spock might be a thing?" Not remembering that, yes, other writers have actually picked up on this in the Kelvin timeline, actually made them a thing.
So I do want to point out. I just did a quick search in Memory Alpha. This is known as a Vulcan lute.
What? I
Yeah,
actually got it.
you actually got it right. Yes, yes, you got it right.
I didn't
As
realize
as
that.
and I feel dumb as the one between the two of us that has like more of a musical background.
Yeah. Well, man, that must have, as a just intaking Star Trek information, that just clung to one of my brain cells and was like, when you see this, this is what it is, even though
Yep.
you're not gonna.
Yeah, Memory Alpha has
Oh,
called it
wow.
a Vulcan loot. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I don't think they have any other terminology for it. I'll read through this
Yeah.
as you're speaking, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to. A Vulcan lute, Vulcan harp, sometimes referred to as a Vulcan harp, sometimes referred to as a Vulcan lyre,
Hmm.
or a Vulcan lyriat.
Yeah.
So still along the same lines as the lute,
Yeah.
harp
And I
range,
think
if
it's
you
made
make
an
sense.
appearance in Strange New
Yeah,
Worlds.
it has.
Okay.
I believe it has, if I'm remembering
I can't remember
correctly.
what episode, but yeah. So Uhura starts singing about Spock. I mean, just straight bars off the dome. Like, this isn't a
Oh
song.
yeah,
She's just,
yeah. She's singing off the top of her head.
yeah, she's freestyling.
Yeah, which is another thing that I did want to point out, like with Strange New Worlds and how they casted uh, the Ahura
Yeah.
character and how she can sing and how
Mm-hmm.
vocal she is. Because in the '60s version with Nichelle Nichols, like she knew how to sing and everything. So they made sure to carry that over into the casting for Strange New Worlds, and even showed that she can sing
Yeah.
in Strange New Worlds, not like a one-off thing or whatnot. Like they show multiple times that her character can sing. So I appreciate that within the pantheon of the Uhura character.
And that her character actually likes to mess with Spock from time
Oh
to
yeah,
time.
that too. That's not necessarily. I wouldn't necessarily call it like messing with, because
It's a
Kevin Tom.
friendship thing.
Yeah, Kevin Tomlin looked at this as like more like they could be
They can be
romantic.
romantic. This little chemistry they have
Exactly.
could be romantic.
But from what we've seen with Strange New Worlds, and even from what we've seen up until this point with the original series, it's more like a I would look at it. It's like a brother sisterly type thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm effing with you, like.
Yeah.
But the brother's just like, I know what you're doing, so I'm gonna just switch this up
Which
because
is
I know
how,
what you're trying to go
yeah,
towards. Like,
because like she's trying to sing initially to throw him off from his
yeah,
playing, and he's like, "All right, if you want to sing, then sing."
then sing. Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna
Basically,
play.
I'm just gonna play. I see, and that's where the smile comes in. Is like, I know what you're trying to do. That's funny. All right, I got you. All right, I
Yep.
got you.
And then of course Charlie shows up,
Mm.
and oh, before I get into that, I have a note here where this recreation room is chaotic. Like this is where people hang out after work, but like there's like games. I mean, I guess chaotic is not the right word. I sound like a Scrooge, but it's there's games, there's music, there's people
There's
drinking.
a lot of stuff going on within this
Yeah, it's
recreation
just
room.
like, oh, I don't really know what the like.
And the yeoman depicts this as like, I believe she's like recreation room 2 or something like
I
that.
think she
So
said six.
yeah,
But yeah,
so
there's a
which
bunch of
determines
these.
that's a number of recreational rooms,
Yeah,
which is weird to me.
if it's this chaotic, like I guess maybe that's why I was thinking it was chaotic because I was thinking like, oh, if there's a number of recreation rooms, maybe they all have like a theme or something like that. Like
With,
your favorite bar, your favorite restaurant, or like this has the music and this
but
is
you
like
don't hear
the Dave
that.
and Buster's.
You don't hear that in like TNG or D Space Nine
Oh
as
no,
we
this
go
will never
forward
come
and
up
everything.
again.
It's always just like the normal recreational area, like Ten Forward, or with Deep Space Nine, it's Quarks, and Voyager, it's It's
Well,
no, not Ten Forward, but
we've
like,
already come across some
yeah,
stuff that's not going to come up again. There's a GQ3 and GQ4,
yeah,
and there was that giant laser that they blasted
yeah.
the side of a mountain with.
Some could
In the
argue that
pilot.
that's still a thing, but
No, they beamed down and set this thing up and then blast. They weren't like, oh, let's fire phasers from space at this thing. They
which
were
somehow
like,
use the ship's energy to do
yeah.
so. Like, I'm still confused at this, but we're not gonna get into that.
So we may never hear of the recreation room again. But like, now that we've seen it, it feels like there's just 6 random rooms that you can do just random stuff in, where people won't get mad at you for it. So you don't have to just be in your quarters. You can just be hanging out. Like, okay,
Is it like a? And I'm just wondering, like, do you just tell a girl like that you're trying to like date? Hey, meet me in this recreation
be in
room,
Rec Room 3 or whatever.
or
Yeah,
is there like a certain room that like everybody normally like congregates to
I don't
because
know.
they're in this part of the quarters or what? I don't know. I'm thinking. Granted, I'm thinking like I was back in college because like every
Yeah,
floor
exactly.
of the
The lack of theme.
dormitory,
Yeah.
yeah, like every floor had a different area that everybody congregated
Hmm.
at, and it would be
That's the feel it's
something
giving.
different on each floor.
Yeah.
So
The fact that this room is chaotic doesn't make sense for
yeah,
what the rest of them could be,
yeah.
however many there are. So, I know. I guess you could ask your girl to meet you in the room with the entertainment tapes and hang out, but I don't know.
We're not gonna touch on that.
So, her starts freestyling about Charlie and Rand.
Hmm.
Um, and actually, I think Charlie misreads this, obviously,
Charlie does misread this,
because she's
but
kind of
but you have to look at this in the light of a 17-year-old that hasn't had like a
interaction.
lot
Yeah.
of this interaction because Uhura is like really kind of being wingman
She's winging a little bit.
in this
Yeah.
situation. Like because she knows how Yeoman Rand is and like can like, hey, oh boy, kind of feeling you and whatnot. Like you should like go
Yeah.
talk to him a bit. You know.
Does she know that he's only 17?
I don't think so. At least I'm hoping so in in this type of situation.
Otherwise, it's getting weirder.
It does. It does. So she's trying to like, kind of like, hey, hint, hint, like, and Charlie is not happy at all.
Misreads it. He feels like the music is taking away from his ability to
Exactly.
get her attention. So
Exactly.
he uses his powers to cut off her voice and really cut out. Seems like he makes the lute stop working, the Vulcan lute stop working as well, and then starts doing card tricks. Um, so to get her attention, that seems to work. I'm not quite sure how this scene ends because I skipped to the next scene.
Well, he does the card tricks and everything.
Oh, and she pulls the one out of
out of her blouse. Which
Yeah.
would be the best way of putting this at this point.
out of the top of her uniform.
Yes, and
If that didn't make sense, then just watch the episode so you can be as uncomfortable as we are.
whew, there's no great way of actually explaining some of these point to points.
Yeah, I don't even think we should try, quite frankly. He does a magic trick in which a card ends up in her uniform
Yes.
at the upper part,
And she pulls it out and it edits her card.
yeah.
Okay, next scene.
It's not going to get better. This scene is about slapping ass again.
Damn it!
Next scene. Charlie asks Kirk about slapping Rand's butt, slapping Rand's backside, and by doing so, he also slaps Kirk on the butt.
And when he slaps Kirk on the butt, he's like,
It's a fake.
"Wait, this doesn't feel like Yeoman's backside."
Yeah, Charlie's like, well, I did something to Yeoman Rand. Oh, real quick, your setup changed. Are we still good?
No, we're good.
Okay. He's like, I did something to Yeoman Rand. She got upset. It was, I don't really know how to describe it. It was this. And then he like slaps Kirk on the ass. And it's like, okay. And Kirk's like, oh, that's what you did.
And now, and then we get the very,
Yeah.
very
This is, I'll help you out.
terrible way of talking about consent.
Yes. This is the first, he's basically asking, why was it wrong for me without consent to touch a woman in a sensitive area? A woman that I've just met, like all that stuff. And I don't. Kirk says something in the middle of it that's like, "There's no right way to hit a woman," which is basically the most correct thing. But that's like the high watermark. He doesn't
Hmm.
sit down and go, "Hey, no means no," and if you don't know, if you have a no or yes, then assume you have a no until you have a clear yes,
Yes.
and then you are allowed to do what she allows you to do,
He
right?
is trying to say that, but does a terrible way of doing it, right?
Uh, it's barely English. It's just
Yeah,
gibberish.
yeah.
It's just stumbling over yourself talking
If you
when he's
were
trying to explain consent.
if you were a 17-year-old and your dad was trying to tell you this and he explained it in the exact way, you would end the conversation with not fully understanding what the
No
hell he
clue
was
what to do.
talking about.
Yeah.
And you would probably still end up doing exactly what you just did
Hmm.
in a situation because
And Kirk is supposed to be in his 40s, in his
exactly.
midlife at this point. So like he knows what consent is. Why he doesn't just turn around and say, "Hey, okay,
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it. You have not been around humans
yeah.
and human women. First thing you gotta know is here, here, and here, and all over. You can't touch without consent.
Without. Hmm.
So you have to get consent, and if you don't earn consent, then you have to move on with your life."
To Charlie's, uh, he's trying to understand. Like Charlie really truly is trying to understand. He looks up to Kirk.
Yeah.
You could tell at this point, like Kirk is his like father figure. So he's trying to fully understand what Kirk is trying to explain, but Kirk just does a lack of a better term, shitty job
Very, very shitty
at
job.
trying to tell him how like consent really works.
Yeah, and Charlie's only real failing is that he thinks he's entitled
Yes,
to consent,
yes,
which you can, unless the person is just like an awful person, which I think Charlie is, but unless they're like an awful person, you can eventually get them kind of trained out of it. But like,
and the crazy thing is, I have in my notes for this particular scene that Kirk states there are certain things that you can do with a lady and like dot like it's like dude like that's the area where you're supposed to like
well, yeah, go ahead.
really explain like okay these are the things that you can do with a lady but she needs to tell you that it's okay for you to go forward in this
Yeah, yeah.
area.
But we still have this happen today because there were these movies like in the 80s and some in the 90s where like a girl says no, but then if you're persistent, maybe she'll give you a chance. So like there was like a period of time in America where you're
Yes,
encouraged to kind of blow
yes,
past consent a
yes.
little bit to show interest,
Which is
and
sad
then
because that's the era that we grew up in.
it is the era we grew up in. So I wonder if they're stumbling all over it because they're like back in that heyday of like,
Hmm.
yeah, it's consent, but
Hmm.
like you don't want to like not keep working if you don't get consent,
Yeah,
and it's like, ugh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
stop.
Which is like that's terrible for anyone to do in that situation. Any man, even if it's a woman that likes other women, like that's terrible for you to do in that situation. Like the
Or I mean, like any situation like that, men,
true,
women,
true.
like whatever. Like
Like if the other person says like no, that should be it, point blank.
that's
Like
it.
that's it. And you're right. That was like around the era that we grew up. There was this like era that people try to like, there's other ways that you can like entice the person into going into what you're trying to do, but like still that's not
Yeah,
consent.
there was a time period where they're like, well, you don't just have to take a no. You can still be persistent after that, and it's like, no, I think you should just take a no. Quite frankly,
Diddy, I'm talking to you, motherfucker.
49 minutes. Okay, we're good. So one of the things about this episode is that it's about consent, and they don't totally get it right by modern standards. I don't know if they get it right by 60 standards, and I don't think 60 standards were right
Mm,
objectively. So
mm,
it's like
hmm.
so we are on our way. So that's the first time they tried to tackle consent. It didn't go right. Cut to the captain of the Antares is trying to send Kirk a message that seems like it's going to warn them about Charlie,
Charlie offs them.
and Charlie offs them.
Like, completely destroys them. He explains it later on, like that stuff was going to happen where they
It
were
was
going to
going to
get
blow up.
offed anyways. He just pretty much just like sped that along,
Yeah,
but like still, bruh, like you don't know what could have happened between now and then where they could have actually fixed it or whatnot. So, dude, you off them.
also, if you saw that and knew you were leaving and didn't say that, then you were just condemning them.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't change the morality of it. So, in the midst of that, he.
Oh, by the way, I do want to point out that I am keeping a running tally. I said this in the previous episode, but I'm saying it again in this episode. I'm keeping a running tally of like blue shirts, red shirts, yellow shirts that were offed in the whole series or whatnot. So I wanted to add these to that list,
The
but I
20
don't.
folks.
Yeah, I don't know
We only
out
know
of
of
the
two gold
20.
shirts.
Yeah, so I guess I could add them, but like still the
You
other 18.
you have to start another category that's just like unknown 18, quite frankly.
You know what? That's probably what I'm gonna do. Unknown.
And also, those two gold shirts, if I remember correctly, they were wearing some of the pilot episode uniforms,
Yeah,
Starfleet
they were with
uniforms.
the
Yeah,
ruffle on the
yeah.
sleeve there, but I'm still gonna call them like yellow shirts. So we're gonna up that to a 4 at this point. So we are at 4 yellow shirts versus 2 blue shirts and 1 red shirt. Just just point that out.
I'm sure that red shirt count's going to go up.
Oh, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Yeah, so the Antares is destroyed, um, and Charlie says something that is kind of like it wasn't well built, and everyone's kind of like, well, he says that before they know it's destroyed. So he kind of gives away that he knows it's destroyed before they know it's destroyed. And then before Kirk can answer it, I promise you, audience, I am in sound mind and health when I say this next part. Before Kirk can answer him, the galley calls in.
Oh, this is probably the like most drunk, high, whatever. Like any
Most
point
randomness.
you would literally, even if you were stone cold sober watching this episode, you would be like, "Am I? Have I been drinking something during this?" Because it is clearly out of the blue. Clearly, you don't have any idea what the is going on. You talking about the meatloaf that got turned into
Yeah,
chickens?
the galley calls in for the first time in Star Trek history, and maybe until we watch Enterprise, the only time in Star Trek history, and says that, and this is how we know there's an oven on board, that the chef had put meatloaf in the oven, and now there's turkeys in
came
the
out.
oven.
Yeah, that's exactly what I put it.
Yeah,
Like what is going on?
I guess, do you have to tell the captain that immediately? Like, if you tell him that there's going to be meatloaf on the ship, and now there's turkeys in the middle of,
So
like...
so so what I'm thinking in the pantheon of Star
Okay,
Trek Enterprise,
let's make it make sense.
is that Kirk really loves his meatloaf. All right, all right.
Ma!
The
Meatloaf!
the galley creates this meatloaf. It is his ish. Like every time this meatloaf is made, dang it, he wants a slice. All right,
Mm-hmm.
all right, 100%. Like anybody else get meatloaf and he doesn't, there's going to be an issue. So that's why I'm thinking like the galley like
Called immediately.
called immediately. Hey, Kirk, the meatloaf that you love and enjoy. Yeah, we put that in the oven and it came out as turkey for some strange reason. We have zero clue what the hell's going on here.
It fits the episode because Kirk is about to ask a follow-up question.
He is. He is.
Just keep in mind, a ship has been destroyed.
Yes.
Forget all that.
Yes.
We'll get to that in a second. What happened to the meatloaf? He's about to ask meatloaf. Charlie laughs and walks off the the bridge, and Kirk's like, "Oh man, there's a lot of things happening at once." Stares at the camera, and we cut to commercial.
No, I look at the fact that like Kirk looks at like Charlie like, did he just F up my meatloaf?
And see, that's when you should have airlocked him. Nobody messes with my meatloaf.
Let's tell the Popular Explorers this. All right. So it throughout the pantheon of Star Trek, me and Patrick always go off of the type of captains that we would be in these situations or whatnot. So in this particular situation, at this point, actually, well before this point, right? Patrick was like, "Oh yeah, he would have been airlocked."
No, not well before this point.
Okay,
I would have airlocked him when he made Sam disappear in the fight scene.
Oh, which is way
later.
Which was coming out. Okay, like I thought you would have like airlocked him. I think the meatloaf would have probably been your thing, like that.
I mean, look,
you F up my food. Like
I do like a meatloaf. I'm not quite gonna airlock someone over a meatloaf, like. So I'm not quite there.
And I'm just like, hey, like, I mean, this is a situation being we need to give him a little headway here. I wouldn't have airlocked him so suddenly as Patrick would have. So
at the point that I would have airlocked him, he would have, in my opinion, just offed a crew member of mine. So it would have felt very self-defense.
And I'm going to tell you the exact point I would have airlocked him. So
okay. Yeah, it's not a question of whether Charlie gets so annoying that he doesn't get airlocked.
Let's point this out. Both of us are airlocking him. Okay, he is definitely thrown out into space. Okay, but it depends on what time frame. And Patrick's is much sooner than mine's.
Yeah, in my opinion, he gets saved. Spoiler alert: gets saved by the aliens of this episode. Because I'm like, if I could airlock you, I'd airlock you.
Let's go to the next scene.
But not over meatloaf. Meatloaf is delicious.
I'm sorry.
Not over meatloaf.
The meatloaf would have been strike one. Definitely strike one.
And in your head canon, Kirk would have because he loves his meatloaf.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay, so after that incident where the Antares is destroyed and the meatloaf
and all 20 people aboard is gone.
Yep. All 20 people are gone. Meatloafs become turkeys. We're in the recreation room and we're playing chess.
Yeah, and okay, so I found this scene very interesting because the Next Generation points out 3D chess a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was something that was a Next Generation creation.
No.
Did not know that this was a TOS creation.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things. It's like oh wow, like that did come from like the previous series before TNG.
They also give us 3D checkers in this as well, which did not carry over.
Yeah. You see in the background that there is 3D checkers going on. Like Patrick did point that out to me as well, which very interesting to point out.
In life, you want to play 3D checkers, 3D chess, not 3D checkers.
Definitely 3D chess.
Okay, so Kirk beats Spock in chess because Spock says he was using a logical approach. And then Charlie wants to play, but Kirk's like, I'm not a father figure. I'm going to get on up out of here, but you can play.
Kirk is like, I'm out. You can play with Spock.
Yeah. Spock beats him pretty quickly, and Charlie gets super angry, but Spock smartly leaves before he gets that ticked, and
Charlie is like Spock is like, there's something for me to do.
I gotta go check out my entertainment tapes real quick.
I feel like Uhura's calling me or whatnot. She needs some help singing or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna get up out of here.
I'm out of here.
And Charlie melts the chess pieces.
like melts those pieces.
His superpowers are just as ill defined as the salt monsters from the prior episode.
I'm thinking of as like comic book uh, superpower knowledge. You don't they don't really tell you everything that the person can do, but it's very sporadic
But
at
I
what they can do.
but I feel like comic books give you a baseline of
They do give you a
what you
baseline.
expect them to do, and then they either exceed it or come up short of it. Like you don't
Yeah,
really, you're not just confused on when they do something because
yeah.
for what we know, he can make stuff disappear, and that can have a real impact in the world. But we're kind of iffy on how much mind reading he can do, but he can do some.
You can do some.
He
Yes.
can do some transmuting, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know if that means making matter appear out of nowhere or actually changing matter because he got that perfume. So like it's just
And
know.
then later on, they talk about his limitations with it,
And then
which
he hits a limit
doesn't fully
because we
like.
turned a bunch of stuff on.
Yeah, you don't fully understand like the limitations, but like I mean, I guess there's limitations there.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just don't explain the power set. Let's see. All right, Charlie melts the chess pieces, and then
Mm-hmm.
Rand shows up. They
Mm-hmm.
run into the hallway. A lot of hallway conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and
this isn't it the scene where Rand like introduced her to another yeoman that's like underneath her, that's like his age.
which so he's 17. So are they just like 17-year-olds on the Enterprise?
Well, they do state this within the Star Trek universe that there are certain geniuses that are like 15, 16 that end up getting
Hmm.
into like ensign level or enlisted
Or yeoman
into
third class?
the, that's the part that like that's the part that's like getting to me, and I put that in my notes is that there are different ranks of yeomen. Like I that
So
I thought a yeoman is just a yeoman, not like that. There's like a junior yeoman or a yeoman third class is what she said.
yeah,
Under the, I thought it was just like the yeoman is the yeoman, and it once she or he is gone, then they uh, bring in another person to be the yeoman.
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on here. There's a yeoman hierarchy that we're not aware of. This yeoman seemingly is a teenager on the
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise, and it's good that there's another teenager here for her to. I'm confused.
I just her name is Tina.
Tina Lawton.
Yeah, yeoman Tina. So she's yeoman third class, and immediately Charlie is not interested in her at all.
Yeah, not at all.
He wants him some older woman.
Well, he wants the first one he saw, despite it's very Romeo and Juliet, except very one-sided.
You're very you are giving him a lot of credit.
Well, in Romeo and Juliet, they like are the first people they see basically romantically, and they fall in love, and then go do
Outside of their clans.
yeah outside of
Yeah,
their and they go on to do really stupid stuff. I
yeah.
mean, like people love that story, but you never want to live a Romeo and Juliet story. So it's basically Romeo and Juliet, except there's a Romeo and no Juliet because Juliet is actually a worldly
I mean, I get it.
woman
I get
that's
it.
older.
As a young man, I was smitten by a lot of uh, girls that were my age. Uh, Sometimes a older woman here and there that you like really respected that like got to you, and you thought that was very pretty, like that happens from time to time. But even then, still like I still had an eye for the girls that were like my age, and he just like completely shuns this girl who is his age.
Well, and this gives us a chance to talk about Ran because Ran at this point has said she'd hang out with Charlie, has scolded him for the butt slap,
Okay.
and sent him to Kirk. And then they do hang out a little bit. And then she tries to set him up with a girl his age. She has not come out directly and been like, I'm not interested in you. In fact, she's going out
And
of her
it's
way
not,
not to do it.
and it's not until the next scene that she actually like fully like tells him flat out like, dude, no, this is not gonna happen.
Well, there's a scene I think before that where she's trying to tell Kirk that like, hey, I'm not trying to crush this
Yeah, yeah,
dude's
yeah,
feelings
yeah.
forever. So can you get him to back off?
So
She's trying to
she
get
is trying to do it more in a diplomatic like
yeah,
way of like, oh yeah, this is just a younger guy crush that
yeah.
okay, I can let him down easily or whatnot. Um, but it's not until like later on in the episode that she's just like no, like dude, this is
When
not
it's
gonna happen.
basically almost too late
Yeah,
because
yeah.
well, we'll get to it. Um, he harshly rejects Tina. Like it's brutal.
Oh, brutal. Well,
Yeah,
she Tina is crushed.
yeah. I would be ticked off if someone talked to me like that crazy. He didn't like go off on her, but like he dismissed her for lack of a better way to say it, and that was not cool. Rand scolds him correctly. Charlie says this is another one of these scenes in this episode where there's a lot of dialogue and all of it is gibberish, and it's Charlie explaining his extreme interest and romance in her. At some point, he says she smells like a girl.
Yeah, I have that in my notes.
And that's when
Hmm.
I was trying to track the dialogue. I go into an ellipses, and then
But it's like okay, like she smelled like a girl, but like
hang on one second before you say
the
that.
the
Hang on
the girl that was your age didn't smell like a. I'm sorry. Keep going.
yeah, one second before you get that. What I have in my notes is, and the part where I write plot points, I am writing. I wrote. I'm not going to try to understand what he's saying exactly.
What he states also. Okay, you smell like a girl, and then quote unquote. This is his quote. This is what he says.
Okay.
I want everybody to understand this is what he says. You are the only one that looks like you. Like
Yeah. Yes, that's how human beings work. Good.
what?
I don't know if that is that a was he trying to compliment her?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess trying to say like you're the only woman that looks as beautiful as you are.
But that's not
Like
what he says.
that's not exactly what he says. But also at the same time, this goes back to what I said at the beginning of the episode. He is a 17-year-old that hasn't had human interaction since he was 3. So he is trying to interpret what he is feeling in this situation. And so his only thought is like, you, you smell like a girl. You are the only one that looks like you. It's basically saying like, girl, like you find and like no other girl has my eyes for you.
If I ever have daughters and I say to them, if a man ever come across to you and says, you smell like a girl, I want you to mace him. I want you to mace him, and I want you to get to a safe space.
Let's be real, like that won't happen. At least I hope that wouldn't
Lord
happen.
willing.
Lord willing,
and the creek don't rise.
I hope that would happen.
happen.
And we would definitely set up our daughters to understand like yeah, to understand like okay, this guy likes you or whatnot, and if you don't, you need to let them off like pretty gently here.
I also have in parentheses, Rand should phaser him. So I'm not quite to airlocking, but
Hilarious.
I am too.
Oh, so you're at the part of phasing him.
Yeah, because you can stun him.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
And this
so
is where the next thing is when the yeoman talks to Kurt, right?
yes.
This is, oh God, this is gold. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Rand and Kirk start talking about Charlie, and Rand's like, "I'm his first crush. I don't want to. I guess I don't want to break his heart." Is what she's trying to do.
Basically.
So Kirk talks to him about it.
It's kind of it's kind of hard to talk about this, ain't it? It is. It's kind of hard.
Just a little bit behind the
You're-
scenes. Dante is giving me another pour of some really good bourbon.
You're you're trying to find the exact vernacular of how to say this to where it doesn't seem like it's kind of uh
Yeah, because this leads to a conversation that's in his quarters.
yes.
And first he confronts him about the melted chess pieces, and is like, "How did this happen?" And he's like, "I don't know how this happened. I'm gonna go now." And he's like, "No, sit down."
No, that's it.
And then Kirk is like, "Hey, man, Rand doesn't want to be with you." And then he's basically like, "Okay, well, how do I make her want to be with me?
Mm-hmm.
How do I violate consent?" And then Kirk is like, to Kirk's credit, Kirk's like, "No, this is the point where you move on with your life."
Okay, let's. I do want to point this out, and this is something good for us to talk about at this particular point because we always like the funny thing in the Star Trek universe is that Kirk is a womanizer.
Yeah.
Like he gets so many women. Like
Which,
they
by the
all,
way, has not appeared.
it hasn't so far.
Yeah.
So I like this is showing like Kirk really respects women. Like and it would be remiss of us to not like point this out. Like he really respects women. And like yeah, he loves women, of course. But also at the same time, he's not gonna like take advantage of somebody that he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
So he's trying to
He's like Gambit. He only goes where he has permission.
exactly. Which I'm glad you said Gambit because you know that's my
Yeah, I know. I'm in your house. I'm giving
favorite
respect
X-Men.
to the household.
Favorite X-Men. Thank you. Uh, so he's trying to convey this to Charlie in a way for him to understand this is how you talk to the opposite sex and this is how you gain consent, and if a person doesn't like you then you need to just leave it alone and move on. But he does a piss poor job of
It's
it.
a very roundabout way to get to be like, hey, no means no. Move on with your life.
Very piss poor job of it.
Yeah. And
Granted, he could like I'm trying to think of like if he had like a son that was
which he does.
13, 14 that he knows of.
He does know of the son.
Not at this point.
Doesn't Strange New Worlds establish that Carol is pregnant?
I don't think so. You're gonna make me go back and like pay attention to that because the Wrath of Khan points out like he didn't know that he had a son.
Not this is why this podcast is great because now I feel like I need to go. I thought Carol was pregnant during Strange New Worlds, and he mentioned that.
He mentions Carol and how close he was to her. Okay, you gotta make me go back and watch that episode. I know exactly which episode you're talking about. That's the one where he was talking to Uhura about this.
Oh no, I think I'm wrong. I think he just mentions that he's in a relationship with
yes,
Carol.
Yes,
I am wrong. And then he doesn't know that he. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Because Wrath of Khan, he really truly didn't know that he had a son. So I'm trying to think of this in a way to where if he was speaking to us like his son that was like 13, 14, 15, somewhere around that age.
Yeah.
And trying to give him the understanding of what consent looks like and like how you shouldn't push yourself onto the not necessarily the opposite sex at this point, like even like someone that you just really truly adore and want to get with.
Yeah.
And how that really should look like. And he just does a piss poor job
he does a bad job of explaining it, and Charlie has an epic identity crisis crash out
100%
as well. It's a very awkward scene where it's just like in modern day, for all the faults we have right now and issues, this scene plays out as no means no, move on with your life, here's an entertainment tape, go away, right? Like that's how it works out in modern.
I feel
But
like this
it's
entertainment taste is gonna be a thing for us, like going through this whole series.
it's like, here's what we're gonna do.
We
Here's this.
cannot forget the entertainment tapes.
Here's what we're gonna do. Helm, change course to Wrigley's Pleasure Planet. Here's this entertainment tape. And then when you get there, we're gonna go down to the surface, all right? Like, don't worry about it, man. It's gonna be fine.
Wrigley's Pleasure Planet and entertainment tapes.
Yeah.
Definitely, like,
There's also some argument for GQ3 and 4 and
Oh my
the giant
God.
laser from the first episode that never shows up again. But I feel like we might forget those. But yeah.
no, I won't.
So Charlie starts getting annoying to me through this, even though I know his circumstances. But like, this is where the I would airlock him feeling start to begin, but I'm not there yet. So of course, if you've done a poor job explaining consent and your 17-year-old is still after the same woman, what do you do?
What do you do? Let's take him to go work out.
Let's take him to go work out. Let's get a workout in. Let's get a workout in. Let's go learn how to fight.
Oh my God, this is such the like terrible male way of trying to do this whole situation. Like,
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what,
if I can't get the
let's-
girl, get me a punching bag.
yeah, let's see if we can vent out a lot of this frustration
Yeah.
to the point to where his mind is clear and I could probably explain this better. No, let's not point out the fact that I explained this fucking terribly before. And like now I'm trying to make up for it. But, you know.
Pretty much. So we're at the gym. There's women in the gym doing gymnastics. There's men doing like bow staff fighting.
The Starfleet workout clothes, by the way, all of them are red.
They're all red. Yeah, I
All
don't
of them
know.
are red. So I don't know who's like a yellow shirt, blue shirt, or
Yep.
even a true red shirt. So it's just like
Foreshadowing. That's going to become important in a second.
hint, 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 hint,
Yeah.
hint, hint.
And so Kirk is trying to teach him how to fight in the way that I think you actually learn how to fight, which is you learn how to get thrown, fall, things like that. So you don't
Learn
hurt
how to
yourself.
take a punch.
Yeah,
It's
basically.
basically like a learn how to take a punch. Learn how to, if somebody threw you, how would you like roll in a way to where it won't hurt you terribly. It's actually a good way of like starting off the teachings of that.
Yeah. And also, realistically speaking, you'll never not take a punch
Yeah.
in a real life fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the movies where you're just going to block everything. Those are very choreographed. So Kirk tries to kind of show him, like, with this guy named Sam, who's not his brother. Kind of shows him.
I did not realize that. That's a very good point. Sam is his brother.
Yeah. Kind of shows him, like, okay, this guy's going to toss me. I'm going to toss him. Like, you know, this is just what we do. It's kind of fun. And then they try to get Charlie in on it. Be like, hey, be part of the fun. We're all getting tossed. Like, that's part of the process. That sounded off. Sorry.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna let it go.
Well, it's not like I'm making it weird.
Oh, 100% the episode's making it weird, but you're not making it any better from with it being weird.
I think in the episode he calls it throws. So
Yes.
So Kirk throws Charlie, and Charlie hits the ground, and Sam starts laughing, and because it's all good fun until Charlie gets upset. Like,
Granted, we all know that's where Charlie, not where Charlie, but where Sam effed up.
what, starting laughing?
Yeah, with the started laughing, I was like, oh, he's about to get offed.
Yeah, and so Charlie just obliterates him with his mind.
With his mind, he's gone.
Yeah,
So I'm putting him down as a red shirt.
even that we don't know that.
We don't fully know that, but he is on the red shirt. However,
However,
we'll come back to this later on in the episode.
However, isn't an issue. Um, Kirk is pretty put off by this, but especially compared how he reacted to the Darnell in the last episode,
Uh
he's
huh.
kind of like,
Oh, he's a father. He's
what
a
just happened?
straight father figure in this situation.
Yeah,
Like, what the hell did you just do?
but he doesn't get all that ticked about it.
He does it. Like it's more of a tempered, because
Yeah,
he knows. Like, think about it. Like, if you were talking to your son, like, and your
which I
son
don't have
had
one.
omniscient powers that could off you at any moment, like, you would be ticked, but you wouldn't go too far overboard to be ticked enough to where you know he could
Mm.
probably get to the point where he off you.
I would just let his mother explain everything to him.
Hilarious. But like that's the way that I took this scene. It's like
Okay,
he's trying to he's trying to admonish him for what he just did,
yeah,
and trying to like put in some type of discipline there to say like that was wrong. Why did you do that? But not to the point to where he wouldn't want to go overboard to off Kirk. And like as we discovered within the earlier within the episode that he looks up to Kirk as like this father figure type.
yeah,
So if you take away Kirk, who else is going to really control him or admonish him? So
exactly.
that it was a smart way of Kirk trying to handle the situation in a way.
And honestly, because the rest of this is about security coming and getting him and putting him in
Mm-hmm.
his quarters, when he actually does leave for his quarters, he lets out a giant sigh of relief.
Uh huh.
Um, but in the midst of all that, Charlie makes all the phasers on the ship disappear, which
All of
is
them, not just one. Like he literally looks at one, which is the phaser that the security guard is pointing at him,
yeah.
and that's the one that he like disappears. But then Ahura comes in and says, "All of them are gone. Like we have no phasers on board."
And that's when I was there.
No, so okay, so this is where you were airlock them.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to airlock him.
So
He's just, for as far as I know, he's just unalived crew member right in front of me, and I have no means to defend the ship against him.
I put in my notes right here. He doesn't understand what life is. He is a boy. So I did put in my notes at this point, and Ahura gets shocked at the fact that all this stuff is going on. So
Airlock.
it's crazy because like you're like completely off this guy, and I'm like trying to find a way to appease this.
I respect it.
Even after one of my crewmen was offed, but like my main thought with this is that he could just think of like any person and they would be gone like completely. So I'm trying to find like that area of appeasement, the area where we can like de-escalate the situation.
I'm immediately thinking I have to defend the ship. So maybe I'm not, like, airlocking is just a term, an umbrella term, but I'm already in defense mode. Like, how do I get him out of here is what I'm trying to do. Um, so yeah, that's the one. When I'm like, oh, I can't even use a phaser now. All right.
Wow.
So this causes them to study the Thasians, and they learn
Mm-hmm.
that they can transmute objects
Mm-hmm.
and make things invisible. Oh yeah, that's where you learned about the transmuting
Yeah.
powers. Okay. And in this conversation, they speculate that he doesn't care about human life. Like he just doesn't. To the point you just made.
Because he between 3 and 17, and it's like 2 and 3 is like that area stage of a child's life where they're fully starting to comprehend and trying to
Mm-hmm.
understand just life period,
Right.
and what that really looks like. So to not have like think about it, like to not have any humans at that point up until your area of 17, and you've gone into puberty at 13 roughly, like how would you be? Like seriously, what type of person would you be in that situation where you didn't have a parent to mold you, you didn't have any other grown-ups to even try to mold you,
Yeah,
like, and then you were given omniscient powers? How would you be?
I agree. I totally agree. You would be airlocked.
Oh
Let's see.
dang. We're going back to granted, like at this point I am not at the airlock stage. I do want to point this out.
Also, in my running list of the Federation not being mentioned,
Uh-huh.
at this point they do mention that they're heading to Earth Colony 5.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't
that's
make I
good
didn't
catch. Good
yeah,
catch.
I wanted to mention it on air, so I didn't make a point of it at the time. But I was like, "Oh, we're heading to an Earth colony, not a Federation colony."
Good
Got it.
catch. Good catch. Okay. So we're still not at the Federation stage where Gene Roddenberry and his crew has like come up with this
Yeah.
idea.
Oh shoot! And in the Wikipedia page, you mentioned Gene Roddenberry. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, he was the voice of that. He was the voice of that chef with the meatloaf and the turkey. That was
No.
apparently Gene Roddenberry. The
Wow.
Meatloaf Turkey Chef was the the great bird of the galaxy, creator of Star
Hilarious.
Trek, Gene Roddenberry himself.
Hilarious.
Which I guess if you have to wonder how that line made it into the episode, let's have Gene say it. Okay, well we can't edit it out if he does. All right, Kirk confronts Charlie about the Antares and he confesses and says the ship would have blown up. Um, uh, Regardless of his intervention, so he just made it blow up, which is still not okay.
Still not okay.
And Kirk kind of asks him, like, well, what are you going to do with us? And he's like, I don't know yet. So, unsettling. They're
In this scene, he also calls Spock Mr. Ears.
He calls him Mr. Ears. Yeah, he's starting to feel himself. And this is the first time he actually changed his clothes because he was wearing that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
Before he was wearing that
It's
pilot
like
episode.
a civilian type.
Yeah, version of the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Didn't have the Delta on it, the Starfleet Delta on it. And now he's wearing a shirt that honestly looks like Kirk's shirt from the start of the episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, where do you get the Starfleet shirt from? But I guess he made it. They're trying to signal Earth Colony 5 for whatever reason, and Uhura gets shocked. I guess they're trying to tell him we're not showing up. I don't know what they're gonna do. Y'all get the F out of there. We're showing up with a 17-year-old that doesn't understand consent, and we
He
can't
will
explain it
off
to
you
him.
at a moment's notice.
Yeah. And Charlie's taking over. They're losing control of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
This is where my notes start to sound like an acid trip again. He turns Lawton into a lizard,
He does.
and then he walks in on Rand,
Yes.
and tells Rand that he doesn't want the door to be locked for him anymore.
That sounded very I can't say the word on YouTube, but very essay.
Very essay, very
Like,
great.
Yeah, very great. Yeah. That this was the part where I was like extremely uncomfortable. It was like I was uncomfortable like parts of the other episode, but right here is just like
There is an old school commercial break
uh-huh.
where she's asking what does he want, and he's like, you know what I want, and he starts walking towards her, and it cuts to commercial break, and we're both sitting there like,
OMG.
is he about to?
Oh no.
Are all the failed consent conversations about to escalate to the point of no return?
No.
Unfortunately, we come back from commercial break and nothing has happened.
Oh no.
But the implication is that nothing has happened, but like the way they cut the commercial break, you're like the worst possible thing is about to happen. Wow. Unfortunately, they come back and nothing has happened, but like okay, and so Rand signals the bridge that it's going like stuff is going down in her apartment, and she stands up for herself. I think Kirk and Spock show up to try to defend Rand. Rand gets disappeared, and then he starts attacking Kirk and Spock, and then
Spock's legs can't work.
yeah,
He
because
said they're like broken or something like that.
yeah, and Kirk has to convince Charlie to allow Spock to stand up so that they can get out of there, and that's where. I mean, I would have already airlocked him, but my resolve to airlock him would have been.
So this is the point. This is the point. This is where they try to put him in like this like security area where he
yeah.
where he is like in a force field to where he can't get out. No, I would have airlocked his ass. Like this is the point where you airlock him. He has offed one of your officers that was training him.
Mm-hmm.
He has offed another one is your yeoman at this point. And so like at this point you have
He's off 20 other people too.
yeah, and the whole crew of the other ship. So you have no idea what he's going to do, what he's going to like how he's going to get there. Like this is the point of me like really offing this person and like I mean if I'm being truly honest with you, like this is that point of me saying like seriously, like dude, why did it have to get to this point? Like seriously, like he has off so many people at this point. He is you can get off at any point at like Kirk. Like yes, he respected you up until here. You are now at the point where you can get it. Like you are gonna put him in like some type of force field area where you're gonna like control him, even though he has like these mental powers. You don't even know what the extent of these mental powers are.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Exactly.
dude, Kirk, what are you doing? This part made me so mental.
Yeah.
And like I get you, I get you. Even though like we made the joke of like, oh yeah, you would have offed him well ahead of time or whatnot, but that wouldn't have been the wrong thing to do. In hindsight, looking back on this, it's like that would not have been the wrong thing to do. Granted, I'm more of the like, all right, I need to see if I can get in touch with a human. Like, is like there's a human being there? Maybe I can like get to understand this person. They can understand us, and we can control this to a certain degree.
Right.
Degree. At this point, all bets are off. This is a done deal. Like he is completely unpredictable at this point.
Yeah.
Why has he not been chucked into an airlock, like, and shot out into space?
Yeah, I mean, airlock is an umbrella term. We could beam him into a sun, beam him into space.
You know,
airlock him. I don't know, set the self-destruct. Like, yeah, like we're trying to figure out what to do, and this is for me why I can never like this episode, because I can never like Charlie. I try to be as sympathetic as I can to him, understanding what his situation is, but
you
at
can
some
try
point,
to up to a certain degree, yeah.
yeah, but at some point it's like, okay, we have explained to you, maybe poorly, but we have explained to you that you don't interrupt people, you respect people, you consent is a thing, and all that stuff, and he is not going to do it. He wants to get to Earth Colony 5 just to mess with more people. And it's like, okay, now I can't let that happen.
It does seem like that at this point. Like
Yeah.
it there is no other rational like thought of understanding like why he wants to get to this colony at this point. Because it's what has he done to my crew? My crew of 428?
Yeah, 428.
428 people, 420 5 at this point.
As far as we know. Yeah.
As far as we know. So like yes, if he's going to do this to my crew, what would he do against a colony of a multitude of people? And then let's say he goes on beyond that to go to another either star base or even hell, even to Earth.
Yeah,
Like, how omniscient would he be in a situation that we would pretty much be at his beck and call?
yeah.
The whole even though they haven't like stated the
The power
Starfleet,
limitation.
yeah, Starfleet or whatnot, like
Federation, yeah.
yeah, Federation, like but all of Starfleet and the Federation would be at his beck and call,
Yeah.
really, at this point.
So it's like tragic backstory or not, like you got a duty at this point.
This part, this
So
mm, this really got to me more than any other four lights with the TOS season that we've like. Granted, we only had what two other episodes before here, and like this got to me the most because I'm just like, Kirk, what the hell are you doing?
yeah,
Like, get rid of him now. It doesn't matter at this point.
yeah, agreed.
That's
So there you go. Like it wasn't whether he would get airlocked by both of us. It's just when
weird.
we
Yeah,
would have
it's
started
weird.
working on
Yeah, yeah.
it.
We're both gonna airlock him, but like, when in the episode would we do it?
Yeah, and he really at this point goes on a spree. Like a random girl walks out of a room and he
Mm-hmm.
rapidly ages her,
Mm-hmm.
or at least makes her think she's rapidly aged, and then he takes the faces off of some of them,
Yeah, it was
which
like they were laughing at
not
something, not
n-
at him,
not at him, but he's like
but
no
something.
laughing
Yeah.
because I guess he wants to be liked, but like he is not going about it the right way. And of course, I thought immediately of the great movie Face Off. Uh,
Great movie.
where
Great
Nicolas
movie.
Cage is like, I want to take his face off.
I want to know the practical effects, like knowing, like, in all transparency, my wife's best friend is a makeup artist in
How that would have happened?
yeah in movies and TV,
Mm-hmm.
and she has shown us how she does certain practical effects for it to look like a certain way on TV or even in movies. So, like in this particular situation, I kind of want to send this to her and be like, "How would you have done this? Like, how would this have been created to have a practical effect to look like someone's face have been like completely like taken off?"
You know, that's the second thing that she's come up for. We almost should keep a list because and bring her on because the Where is Starfleet episode, we
Mm,
were wondering
mm.
how was the makeup different to make them look like I guess like grainier than usual,
Yeah,
for lack of a better
yeah,
way to
you're
say
right. You're right. You're right. I feel like we should bring her on, even if it's like I have her on my phone or something, and she can like talk into the mic or whatnot. Like I feel like we should bring her on just to like give us some of those behind the scenes that some of us don't really know or understand of
Yeah,
how they do certain things.
yeah. Because I mean, obviously, there's a ton of makeup tricks on
Oh
Star
yeah.
Trek.
Oh
A
yeah.
lot of forehead ridges
Oof.
and things like that. Yeah. Um, but he also there's one that I didn't write down, but like he runs into another girl where he just like stares at her and she stops moving and they don't show what exactly happens to her and he just kind of like meanders on like
Yeah.
it's a consent filing episode, just a bunch of assaults of various kinds. Um, and then it cuts to the bridge. Charlie's on the bridge. He's flying the ship. He's locking in to go to Earth Colony 5. Um, there's a message that's trying to get through to the Enterprise, and Charlie doesn't know what it is or what it's about.
Hmm.
Um,
And he blocks it.
and he
So
blocks it, yeah. And he doesn't know what that is. He storms off and wanders off again. So they're all on the bridge, and this starts him trying to take over the ship.
hmm
And then I guess Kirk picking up on the fact that he doesn't quite know everything that's going on.
He says that at this point he's pretty much taxed his power.
Yeah, he's thinking he's hit the peak of his ability, his
Mm-hmm.
coverage. Like at this point,
Mm-hmm.
he's outkicking his coverage to run the whole Enterprise, gives
Mm-hmm.
it to the Earth colony, make us do what he wants, and make us not get this message. Like he's thinking, like, hey, there might be a cap to his power, and thinks about trying to overload him. Charlie shows up on the bridge, sits in the captain's chair, um, and for lack of a better way to describe it, Kirk starts questioning him about it, and is
Mm-hmm.
like, "I think you're at the peak of your powers. We're gonna really stress you." And
Then he throws him out the chair.
well, before that,
Before that,
he's like, "Bones, Spock, cut some more stuff off."
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They go to every console just like turning crap on, and I'm like, what are they turning on? What? Okay, like,
That's like, I'm gonna max out the power grid. I'm gonna cut on
yeah,
every light in my house.
yeah.
Start the washing machine. Start the dryer.
Start the dryer.
Start
Turn
the
on the
dishwasher.
oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, start the dishwasher.
Oh man, in the oven, the meatloaf stuff become turkeys.
Oh, 100%. Like, we need the meatloaf. Shit. Turn on the vacuum cleaner, TV, surround sound system, all that stuff. Like, pump it up to, like, air conditioning unit,
Yeah.
like, all that stuff.
We're taking it to 11, and it is just Kirk and Spock turning a bunch of stuff on, which I don't know if that's what those knobs do on the bridge, but that's what they did.
That's
for
what
this
they make it.
episode.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's all that matters.
What I've learned with Star Trek is that the buttons and knobs do whatever. The hell the characters want to do in the situation.
Whatever they need to do.
It's Deus Ex Machina within the buttons, basically.
Yeah. Well, and this episode ends on a Deus Ex Machina, so we'll get to that. And at this point, Kirk picks Charlie up out of his chair and throws him.
Throw them. Yep.
Yeah. And he starts to approach Charlie again to like continue the fight. Charlie does whatever it is that makes Kirk's insides hurt. It makes him fall over.
But he seems to be sorry that he's doing that though. He doesn't want to hurt Kurt. That's the main thing that I took from that particular scene. Is that like, yeah, he's hurting him, but he doesn't truly want to hurt Kirk.
Yeah, the father-son dynamic, like Charlie is looking for connection. He just
Yes.
can't do it.
He doesn't know the best way of doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Without being a 2-year-old with powers.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing a tantrum.
Yeah. Doesn't know how to take no.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't know how to learn from others, really. But he wants everyone to like him, and doesn't understand the role of laughter. And it's messed up. And at this point, Kirk is pretty committed to being like, I gotta eliminate the threat on my ship, and gets him up and is about to punch Charlie in the face. And doesn't, because the message from the other ship gets through, which I have in my notes. Should have really punched him in the face. That's
hilarious.
I would have punched him in the face.
Hilarious.
I would have punched him in the face a couple times, but that's just me being extremely frustrated with him. Oh, what's that? Is that gonna come through?
No, you're.
Oh, okay. So this turns out to be a ship from Thesis. And it appears, and Charlie starts to beg to stay because he doesn't want to be with the Thasians anymore.
Because they are non-corporeal. They're non-corporeal beings, and he can't touch them.
Yeah.
Which seems to be his biggest thing of like how humans really interact is the touching, which is really more than just that. But
Well, there were a lot of butt slaps in this episode.
there were a lot of butt slaps. You're right.
Put down in the comments if you think the friendly butt slap is going to make a comeback anytime soon. Just you and your bros, or you and your girls. Like, I don't know what you're about to say.
It's going to. I feel like it's going to.
I mean, time is a flat circle. The question is that in our lifetime or not? And do we want it to happen in our lifetime? I'm in the column of no. But we'll...
If I'm a gambling man,
You're a gambling man.
I'm going to gamble the fact that, like, this is going to happen again.
So, anywho, I guess before we get to this kind of concluding paragraph here, because we're at the end of the episode, just a reminder, kids: no means no.
No means no.
This episode was just a terrible explanation of consent.
If he
So
or
I'll
she
say it
doesn't
for
give you consent, you can't. Do not move forward.
absolutely. So the ship is from Thesis. Charlie is begging to stay. Kirk, in an act of compassion, is like, "Hey, okay, I like." They explain that they gave him his powers to help him to survive,
Mm-hmm.
and they always meant to keep him on the planet because they gave him these powers. So you need to give him back to us. Kirk, in an ultimate act of compassion, is like, okay, despite all the BS this kid's put us through, we will teach him. Well, he won't use his powers and things like that. Thesis,
Granted, by this point, the Thesis have like undone everything that he did.
they have undone everything he did.
So the yeoman is back.
Yo Moran is
Even
back.
even the third.
I'm sure she's not a lizard anymore.
Yeah, she's not a lizard anymore.
Sam's back.
Sam's back. All like every person that we thought was off.
Except
Except the crew.
the
of
ship he blew up.
Yeah.
Those 20 homicides are still on
They
his
said
record.
they were too late to save them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So they've restored everything. Kurt does grant him asylum. But they're like, he will never not use his powers, and you're going to end up destroying him, or he's going to end up destroying you.
Yes.
And this is not something we wanted to rot out here. We're
Yes.
taking him back. And they take him back, and I have in parentheses, thank goodness. Rand, despite being the object of a lot of line stepping here, cries about his departure. And they're all kind of sad about it.
And they brought Rand back when she was in her nightgown.
When she was in her nightgown. She's in her nightgown on the bridge.
On the bridge, which is
uncomfortable.
highly inappropriate.
Poor girl cannot catch a break.
Jeez. Like. Oh, and we did point out, Patrick did point out that Rand was a reoccurring character that came up in the movies on Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, where she was part of Sulu's crew.
She's on the Excelsior. She's part of Sulu's crew on the Excelsior, but I remember her from Voyager.
Well, Voyager mainly, yeah.
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 I don't know if she's actually
Technically,
in the Undiscovered Country.
I guess you could like. In the pantheon of things, she would have been on that ship at that point.
Yeah, but I'd have to rewatch the
But
movie
really,
to see.
Voyager's where you saw her again,
Yeah.
reapprising her character
As Rand.
as Rand.
Mhm.
Yes. Which the funny thing is, as much of a Voyager fan that I am, I didn't pick up. Which I would be remiss to not point that out, that Patrick was the one that pointed that out to me.
Well, it's a little bit of cheating because her in-memory alpha has that in here. But yeah, she's apparently in that episode where Tuvok, there's like a mind virus thing. We'll get to it in like I don't know, 8 years or something like that. So
At some point.
yeah.
When we're able to get to there, yeah, maybe we might run through the TOS episodes a lot sooner than what we think.
Oh, we're gonna start doing two at once because it's
Maybe.
getting kind of.
It is.
Oh boy.
I don't know if we could do two at once. It's kind of.
Well, the only way to speed it up is to watch more episodes at once. So.
Oh, jeez. But.
So anywho, the episode ends, and we're off to Earth Colony 5 because the Federation isn't a thing yet. Charlie is back safe with the Thasians, or waiting for the day to plot his revenge that we're going to get in an episode of Discovery or something. Well, I guess not Discovery. Maybe Starfleet Academy or something like that. Anywho, end of episode.
But I am updating my my depth count to 18 unknown.
Unknowns.
I am
yes.
I am adding that. So
No, it's 2 gold shirts and 18 unknowns.
2 blue shirts, 1 red shirt, 4 yellow shirts.
Yeah, so 2 of those yellow shirts are Rammer and Nellis, because we saw them.
Oh, okay. So I need to pump that down back to 2 because they came back, right?
No, because they were on the part that didn't come back. So if they were 2 of your 4, If Nellis and Rammer
Okay,
were two
okay.
of your four,
Yes.
then they stay in. But there's two gold, yellow or
Yes.
gold shirts
Two
that,
blue, one red, four yellow.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then 18
And
unknown, which is
18
the
unknown,
unterrace.
which still is going against the whole red shirts always get offed in
Yeah,
TOS. So far.
so far
So far. So like
we're somehow only 3 episodes into this.
yeah, we want to keep a running tally of this as we're going forward to uh hopefully get to the end of the series and be like, oh yeah, no, this was right. The red shirts did get off the most, or be like, no, that's a misnomer. Like, no, they really didn't, and this is the data that we collected.
Yep, yep.
So we're almost there. Well, no,
What
we're
do you mean
not. We're not almost
we're
there.
not even close?
We're at the beginning.
We're just trying even to understand if TOS understands what consent is, and the answer is no, not yet. Or
Absolutely, positively no. Uh,
or at least some understanding where they can't explain it to a 17-year-old.
and this is supposed to be the enlightened series of this time.
Yeah.
So, whew,
God help us.
man, we got a lot of episodes left, Patrick, and
And the funny thing is that they're not all going to be, because set aside all the issues with it that we've said, it was an entertaining episode of Star Trek.
it really was. That's the crazy thing. This was a Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Like, granted, like yes, you had a lot of the crazy 60-ish that happened, but for the most part, this was the most Star Trek episode that I've watched from the first three episodes
I think
that
I
have come
still
out.
like The Cage better. I feel like The Cage had a better mystery.
It did. It did.
But yeah, this is the one that has a bunch of weird stuff in it. It ended in space.
Yeah.
A bit of a bottle episode, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Um,
This is an episode that can stand upon itself. It can be syndicated at any point in time, and it wouldn't feel like it's out of place.
yeah.
Uh,
It's just their treatment of, and this is a big thing, it's their treatment of consent that makes it so painful
yes.
and made it
Yes.
so hard
Yes.
to, like, so behind the scenes, we ate dinner and, like, talked to Dante's wife and, like, tried to explain to her what was going on, and it was just like, she felt like we needed to talk to our therapist before we recorded. Because we both had these like 1,000-yard stares on our faces because this is a hard episode because of the underlying subject matter of like consent, and in no point in the episode does anybody's consent really get respected that much. Even Charlie
Yes.
begging to stay
Yes.
gets taken away at the
Yes.
end, and Kirk can't explain what
Yes.
consent is, and Rand has to try to finagle and come up with schemes to work away around her consent. And it's
Agreed.
just like,
Yeah, and the main thing that really got to me the most is that Rand always tried to get another male involved
yeah, to
to
explain.
explain what consent was, and which is totally different to where how it is at this stage, where
Yeah.
it's like, women do have power, like they are the authority of whether consent is given or not. So, within that situation, with if you like women or not,
Yeah,
but
with the butt slap.
exactly. So, like, whatever they say is how it goes. But back then, they felt like that a man needed to be involved to be able to get another man to understand like what consent was,
Yeah.
and that was the part that was just like, oh, this is.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious to know how Steve Shives felt
Oh, yeah.
about an episode like this, because he loves the classic series, he really does, and
But he does savage it when it needs to be savage.
he does. Oh, 100%, he does, and I don't think I've like listened to him on this particular episode and how he
Yeah, I don't know if he's reviewed it or
felt
not.
about it. He does have a series with another one of his friends where they act like they're like minor characters,
Oh, okay.
like with on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So it, I haven't gone through that series at
Yeah, I
all
haven't
because
seen that either.
because
Yeah.
I wanted to rewatch the whole series to understand like what's going on within this before I actually watch it. So I am curious to know. Uh, and just it's a podcast. It's like a listen only type thing where they go through that whole episode, and it's just like lower decks. It's pretty much like a lower decks characters
Yeah.
of those series,
Oh, no
which is
wonder he savages that show so
yeah,
much because he.
yeah. So I am curious to know what they say during this particular episode on this. So
It would be interesting. I think for us, we, I think we've hit the wall in this episode of being able to sympathize with 60s 70s norms
yeah,
to fully understand why an episode of Consent just isn't like a 10-minute episode where this kid learns consent very directly uh from Kirk, and it's
hmm
it's hard, and we were born after all of this, so we can't even get in the
oh yeah,
mindset to be like,
yeah,
okay, I'm not sure what made this feel progressive, futuristic politics
hmm
around the topic of consent when it
hmm
just.
we weren't even around during this era, so we don't even know how this era really was, and
Yeah.
like their uh, level of joking or their level of like how they reacted to certain situations and certain things like that. So I mean, we truly can't say.
Yeah, we really can't. All we can say is that, at least by modern standards, they don't handle the topic of consent
What?
as well as they can.
Not well at all.
A
From
little
from our
bit
standards.
from our standards, a little bit of credit of at least acknowledging that consent is an issue
Yeah.
that needs to be educated on. So that's a really good step, and maybe that was the step in the 60s and 70s. I don't know, but the way it was handled from just being like, we need a consent episode, from there is like, okay, you fell well below standards
Yeah. Yeah.
of what
Yes.
explaining consent is and making
Yes.
people recognize what consent is, and that's what makes this episode really tough for me. And I this is the first time I've really like talked about the episode, and I've seen it like two or three times, and I think every time it's what I don't like about it. It's just this entitled kid with superpowers violating everyone's consent, and at the end he wants mercy, and I'm like, airlock him. Just
Put him
airlock
in
him.
there, hit the button, throw him out of space. Let's not even think about this. Hey, Admiral April, if you have an issue with me airlocking this guy, let me tell you everything that this mother effer did. All right, like, dude, like you would have airlocked this guy. Okay, come on.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a tough episode of Star Trek. I don't know what to say.
Well, with that all being said, I mean, I hate to go to this point, but we have to. Like, we do this every
We do.
episode.
We gotta
So,
try.
so what do you give this episode?
I'm gonna regret this because
I feel like I am too.
there's some
Yeah.
bad episodes ahead of us. Um, and this is one that's like, it's entertaining, but it's bad, and it just made me feel blood wine.
Oh, you're giving this blood wine.
I'm reaching for the blood
You're
wine.
going to the straight terrible.
I I have always hated this episode,
Okay.
and I just think I gotta give it blood. Like, it's gonna be funny because there are episodes we're gonna give blood wine to.
That are like straight, like awful.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
and boring and things like that. But this is a weird one where, like, on principle, I'm like, they fumble consent so bad that I have to give it the lowest rating.
And I do have to agree with you on that standpoint. Like the consent part is the one that like really got to me
Yeah.
with this episode. Granted, like the rest of the episode without like not focusing on that aspect of it was actually entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
And which is it's the sad part for me because I really wanted to give this a Chateau Picard uh,
I was
rating.
messing around with giving it a Romulan ale, but consent is one of those things where it's just like I can't mess around with it. Like it's just, like it's like it's so hard not to give it blood wine because of what
I
they tried to tackle and to tackle it
but I
poorly.
also feel like those Blood Wine episodes that we're going to have are going to also hit on something like this
Oh, that's a good
and
point.
also be terrible. Yeah.
So you think maybe I should try to go for a Romulan
No,
ale?
no. I mean, I would say you stick with your rating.
Stick with blood wine.
Okay,
Okay.
of course, but I'm going to go with the Romley L
Okay.
rating because, like I said, I was entertained in the areas that was not talking about consent or even related to consent.
Agreed.
So, and it was the most TOS Star Trek episode that I can think of. That's like really within the pantheon of Star Trek. That like they were hitting on the points of what we Trekkies normally would like to
Mm,
hit on.
yeah.
Like, but also at the same time, like it's kind of hard to not and 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 I want to be fair on this. I
Okay.
do want to be fair on this because the reason why we came up with the whole uh, rating system for the TOS was because we knew that this was in a different era. This is they're
Mm-hmm.
going to say or do certain things that we don't necessarily agree with because this was in a time that was totally different and we look at it right now and we're just like what the hell was going on during then.
And
Uh-huh.
in 3 episodes, them effers ran over the line. We were like trying to give some like grace. We were trying to play a little zone defense, give them some space, and they were like, fam. We
It
couldn't
is
do
hard. It is you you are not wrong. It is difficult. It definitely is. But I want to also give the breath to those episodes that we know. Like there are some that we know of that we've actually watched that
Yeah.
we actually can remember that we know that once we rewatch them again, there's just gonna be like, there's no way to defend this. There's
Yeah.
no way to defend this episode. There's no way to defend how they were during this era, along with this episode that it's going to be blood wine, at least for me.
Right. Yeah.
At least for me. I understand your point of wanting to put that, but I'm gonna have to go with Romulan L. I'm gonna have to go with Romulan L.
I
This
think that's
was
I almost gave it a Rami and Lale because of what you said, and so I don't disagree. Honestly, I think we're it's a weird one because we're at the same
yeah,
spot. We just have so much Star Trek to go that we're
yeah.
both like, I don't know what to do with it, and I'm kind of like, I'll just burn one of my blood wines now, and like, I think if you're thinking about your score, it's probably because like it's essentially like blood wine's like a 1, right? Your
Mhm.
Romulan ale is probably like a 1.999
It was
or
it was bad,
2.0001.
almost entertaining, but still
Yeah.
bad to the point where I need to drink
Yeah.
to get through it. Yeah,
I don't think your
yeah.
Romulan ale and my blood wine are that far apart if we had to like chart it on a graph. Like like we're struggling with the same thing.
We are, but like I'm definitely gonna have to get this a blood wine, like, and like with it with it being with the issues that we have pointed out with the era that this has this was created in. And even us seeing a little, just a little bit of this, uh, I probably would say a little bit of this. We might have different points of view when we actually go through the TNG rewatch, because there is some sexism in TNG,
Oh yeah,
like not to the same degree, and as blatant as TOS, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna come up to this. But like, I'm definitely gonna have to give this a Romlin L watch because we definitely had to like we had to drink
we've
when
literally been drinking the whole
we
time.
had to drink when we watched this.
It's a fake.
So like, I think that's where we're gonna end this one.
Agreed.
We're gonna end this one,
If you need to
and
teach your 17-year-old about consent, do not look at this episode for
oh god no,
for inspiration.
God no.
Unless you want them in jail within the next 2 to 3 months.
I mean, so me and Patrick have had intellectual conversations behind the scenes about this, about Star Trek, I should say, and I've pointed out to him that there are um, a number of wingers, excuse me,
Yeah, right wingers.
who really feel like that Star Trek isn't Star Trek now within this pantheon, within this age. And it's always been one of those things that's like very curious to us. Like, Star Trek has always been political. Star Trek has always pointed out what things are wrong, uh, like the right way we should do things as humanity. And after rewatching just some of these episodes, I've told Patrick like I think I'm starting to understand why some right wingers uh, feel like that Star Trek has gone a different direction. Not to say that I definitely don't agree with them. I don't want anybody to think that. I definitely did not agree with them. I'm a progressive. I want us to go in the progressive direction. All right. Uh, but I'm starting to see like how some of the things that are said, how they're done, like why they would think or feel that Star Trek was talking to them. And it's kind of eye opening to me. I don't know. I don't know about you, but it's like, it's been like, wow. Like, I, I remember watching this as a kid and not really picking up on a
Yep.
lot of the stuff that we're
Yep.
picking up on now as a grown adult.
And there are people today who will make right wing points about consent and
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
men should be and
Mm-hmm.
pursuing women and things like that are reflected in this episode
Yes.
that it's like, okay, to your point, I see where you're anchoring in Star Trek. That's not where Star Trek is now. And
Yes.
if you had been back in the
Yes.
day when this was your Star Trek, you wouldn't anchor on this either. You're just advanced with the rest of us and finding comfort back then. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Where I have the confusion is those that are like around our age that didn't necessarily grow up on TNG but grew up on I'm not TNG. They didn't exactly grow up on the original series but grew up on TNG and still feel like this. And I'm like, I've rewatched TNG a multitude of times. They do have some sexism in there, but not to this degree. Not to
Yeah,
the degree that women shouldn't have autonomy over their own bodies. Not to the degree that uh
men can only teach other men about consent.
yes, yes. And, and not to the degree that like racism is just like blatant and if you're not a certain color, you shouldn't really exist. Like that's the part that's really confusing to me as to why there are certain people on that spectrum that feel like, oh no, that ain't truly Star Trek. How I feel is really how Star Trek truly should be,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's very weird to me. It's extremely weird to me, and like I'm pretty much at the same situation where Steve Schaub is, where it's like, if you really feel that way, fuck off. Like I I have no other way of like thinking this. Like I have a progressive mindset. I feel that all human beings should be able to live the way that they should want to live. Like it is not my decision of how another person should live. It is only my decision of how I should live, not of how another person should live. However they want to live, yeah, go for it. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna think. I have sin too. If we're thinking of this from a Christian point of view, I have sin too. Like I've done some shit too. But it's really crazy to me that people would judge others for certain things that they grew up on or certain things that they were taught, and they feel like everybody has to adhere to that.
Yeah.
That is the part that is mind-boggling and crazy to me. And this is one of the main reasons why I love Star Trek so much,
Yeah.
because they truly believe that the person who you are, however you were raised, whatever culture you were raised in, uh, and I mean, if we're going off of it fully, not just from humans, but like alien races, like however you were raised in, that's who you are. And we're going to respect you. We're going to respect your culture. We're going to respect exactly the way that you were raised and try to understand that culture on another level than what we may interpret it. And that's the part that we really should be doing as a human race. It's like yeah, we may not have the same religion. Yeah, we may not have grown up in the same country. Yeah, we may not have be the same color, race, creed, whatever. Like it's all about how you feel like how you were raised, understanding how you were raised, and like respecting that, and then not wanting to impose that onto another group of
Yeah.
people. Which is the part that gets to me about Christianity. Like, and I'm a Christian, and,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to point that out. I'm a Christian, but like also at the same time, like Jesus teaches us to not impose our religion onto another group of people. Like he explicitly points that out in the New Testament. If you're saying that's wrong, you need to reread that. If you ever read it, I have. I've read it a number of times. So if you feel like if you feel that way, Star Trek is not for you. But also at the same time, we want to point out that everybody's welcome. Everybody. I love people. I love to know and learn about other people, their cultures, how they interact. It gives me so much joy to understand that.
Yeah.
So if you are not that person, Star Trek is not for you.
Indeed. And we both have airlock Charlie.
Granted, at different points. But we do want to, of course, end our um, definitely our conversation off that wonderful Star Trek quote from Jean Luc Picard, um, as we always do. Granted, we've done a different quote differently, but we're gonna go back
Done a
to this
couple of them.
other.
Okay.
We're gonna go back to the other quote.
It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness. That is life.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today, and Catch us next time on the next recap of the original series of Star Trek. Have a wonderful week.